Wormholes, right. Like, who isn't completely obsessed with the idea of these things? And when you toss in climate change and humanity setting up shop on the moon, well, you've got yourself a deep dive that's just begging to be unpacked.
Absolutely. And that's precisely what we have on our plate today, a story that manages to connect all of these threads, wormholes, climate change, a lunar colony, in a way that really makes you think.
It reminds us that what might seem like disparate events can be interconnected in surprising and sometimes unsettling ways. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's rewind to the beginning. Our source material drops us right into the thick of things in the Victorian era. Think exploration, adventure, but with a sci-fi twist.
Right, picture this. It's the 1800s, and suddenly these naturally occurring wormholes begin popping up all over the globe. And we're not talking about some subtle phenomenon here. People are literally stumbling into these things. One minute you could be trekking through the Borneo rainforest, the next you're in the Australian outback.
Or, enjoying a lovely stroll through the Japanese wilderness, and boom, you're face to face with an Inuit settlement. Talk about an unexpected commute.
It really must have been a time of incredible discovery, but also immense bewilderment. Initially, these wormholes appeared random, scattered, with no discernible pattern. But, as with any good mystery, a pattern did emerge.
Yeah, the story makes a point of highlighting how scientists and explorers, those with a thirst for knowledge and a knack for spotting connections, started noticing a link between these wormholes and, what else, you ask? Well, our old friend, climate change.
It's almost as if the planet itself was reacting to the rising temperatures, its pulse quickening, expressing itself through these volatile wormholes. And as the Earth heated up, so did the wormholes. They became more frequent, more unstable, and far less predictable.
And of course, we humans, being the curious, adventure-seeking species that we are, couldn't resist the allure of these cosmic shortcuts. The chance to step into the unknown, to traverse vast distances in the blink of an eye, it was a risk many were willing to take.
Some might even call it reckless, wouldn't you say? But then again, it's that same drive to explore, that same willingness to push boundaries that has led to so many of humanity's greatest achievements.
True enough. But as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that these wormhole journeys weren't for the faint of heart. As the planet continued to heat up, the wormholes became increasingly dangerous. What were once relatively safe passages turned treacherous.
It's like the planet was sending a message, a star's warning. Instead of reaching their intended destinations, people were being deposited in the middle of the ocean, in active volcanoes, even in the middle of deserts with no way to survive.
Talk about a stark illustration of the rising stakes, right? Climate change wasn't just a distant threat anymore. It was changing the very fabric of reality, turning these wormholes into unpredictable and often deadly portals.
And just when you thought things couldn't get any stranger, the story throws us another curveball. It's almost as if the writer looked at the escalating chaos and thought, how can we crank this up to 11?
Right, as if the story needed more chaos.
Yeah.
But go on.
Well, as the planet continued to heat up, as these wormholes became increasingly volatile, they started spitting people out on the moon.
On the moon?
Yeah.
Seriously, can you imagine? It's like stepping into a teleportation device, hoping to end up in some exotic locale, only to find yourself stranded on the lunar surface. Talk about a one-way ticket with no return.
Talk about a giant leap for mankind, and not the good kind. Initially, the story paints a rather bleak picture. People are being hurled onto the moon, completely unprepared, with no way to survive. It seemed like a tragic consequence of humanity's tampering with forces we didn't fully understand.
But, and here's where the story takes another fascinating turn, this seemingly disastrous side effect of the wormholes inadvertently paves the way for something remarkable: the establishment of a lunar colony.
Yes, despite the initial tragedies, humanity, ever resourceful, saw an opportunity in this cosmic chaos.
It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Did we have the right to claim the moon, especially as a refuge from a disaster we ourselves created on Earth?
It's a question that speaks to the very heart of the story's themes: adaptation, unintended consequences, and the ethical dilemmas of colonizing other celestial bodies.
But ethics aside, the story describes how we harness these unpredictable wormholes, turning them into a kind of interplanetary transport system. We were able to shuttle resources, equipment, and eventually colonists to the moon with surprising efficiency.
It's a testament to that uniquely human trait, our ability to adapt and innovate, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges.
And adapt we did. The story paints a picture of a thriving lunar colony, a testament to human ingenuity and resilience, a safe haven from a dying Earth.
Until, that is, the wormholes on the moon became active once more.
Wait, so we escaped a dying planet, set up shop on the moon, only to have these wordholes, these unpredictable gateways, reappear? You've got to be
They-
kidding me.
Well, the story doesn't delve into specifics, but it does hint at something unsettling. It describes a faint rhythmic humming emanating from the lunar wormholes, a subtle vibration that sent shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned colonists.
And then, just when the tension is at its peak, the story offers us a glimpse. Something vast, something otherworldly, begins to emerge from the lunar wormhole.
And that, my friend, is where the story leaves us, hanging on a cliffhanger of cosmic proportions. Who or what is coming through those wormholes? And what does their arrival mean for the future of the lunar colony?
It's an ending that stays with you long after you finish reading. It leaves you contemplating the vastness of the universe, the potential for life beyond our planet, and the profound implications of encountering the unknown. What would your reaction be if you were standing on that lunar colony, gazing down at the Earth and witnessed something new, something utterly alien, step out of that wormhole?
It certainly gives one pause, doesn't it? A reminder that in the grand scheme of things, we are but one small species on a tiny blue planet clinging to the edge of a vast and mysterious cosmos.
The cosmos full of wonder, terror, and endless possibilities.